Now we're going to take a look at some real world website maintenance plan and support and care plan pages. These are going to be actual pages from a lot of my colleagues and students who are literally making money by selling these plans. So you're actually going to see what's included, different titles, different page layouts, pricing, etc. Really, really excited to give you some real world examples. But what you're seeing right here is the mock-up page and the landing page design that I have for you. So I'm going to link this below. I've got a lesson on this later on. We'll dive through this in more detail. But what you're going to see here is what's included in the plan. You're going to see some pricing tiers. You're going to see some FAQs. The reason I wanted to show you this is a lot of these websites you're about to see are modeled after my plan and what I had dished out initially in version 1 of this maintenance plan course. Like I said, this is the revamped version. So a lot of the websites you're about to see are students who have been through the first version of my course and are now selling their maintenance plans and making money, which is awesome. So let's dive in by jumping into one of my close colleagues, Jake and John with Artillery Media out in Nebraska. They have a beautiful site, first of all, aesthetically, but their hosting and maintenance is really interesting because it's actually really all about hosting. They've told me numerous times they would much rather get a low-end client on hosting just to retain that monthly income and kind of build it up from there. Now, like we talked about a little bit ago with the different titles that you can have for your tiers, they are a good example of the silver, gold, and platinum approach. And you can see here, they're really featuring gold. And let's back this out a little bit just to give you a little more viewport there. So they are really featuring gold. Now, their silver plan starts at $49 and then $99 to gold, jumps up to $299 with a lot more value here. Because this is hosting, they add more information about hosting as well, which, by the way, when it comes to pricing and benefits and stuff, you're always welcome to add SSL certificate. Most clients don't know what that is, and it's pretty standard with all hosting now, but if you want to do that, you're welcome to as a benefit or a feature. Now, the big difference with them is that their silver plan does not include the hour of technical support or updates. So that's a biggie between here. But a good example of a site that really is pushing hosting and maintenance and security. And then this is also a really good example of other things you can add to your landing page, like uptime, like results, a little more technical stuff, anything like that. And you'll see on a lot of these pages, we are going to have a lesson later on how to collect payment for your plans. But a lot of these will go to a contact form or go to a sign up form as opposed to a direct sign up. But we'll look at some different examples here of that moving forward. So great example here at Artillery Media. I will have all of these websites linked below. I meant to mention that. And as a quick note also that I meant to mention before we dive in, a lot of these may look different by the time you see them live, or the plans, the pages may have changed or might be different at the time of recording this. These are what these look like, but the pricing may be different. The look may be different because we're actually looking at live sites right now. Now, the next one, my man Leo with Straight Up Websites. Great example of doing a maintenance and hosting plan. And he is very clear about WordPress website. So there's no ambiguity. There's no hosting and maintenance for Wix or Drupal or anything else. It's WordPress websites. Good example to do that. And then he's got a lot of nice verbiage about, you know, the what's involved in the plan here. Now, one thing I would recommend Leo do potentially is have the features above the sign up forms here, or the plans. That's probably something I would recommend. It's one reason why I've got the example page set up specifically for this. So you look at the features, get a feel for what's involved, then you see the sign up pricing and plans. But either way, Leo did a great job. I also love his titles. I actually got the premium and elite titles from him because I loved them. I loved the sound of that. So he's got starter, premium, and elite. Price points vary from $47 to $97 to $297. So Leo's ending with the 7 route, which is fine. Again, no right, no wrong. And then he's got all the features here. An additional thing I might mention for Leo is that I would recommend he have his buttons below this. That way you see the price, what's involved, and then the sign up button. But either way, great example of what's involved here. And what's interesting about what Leo did is in the basic, the starter plan, he actually does offer some technical support up to 30 minutes. So little caveat there to where you don't necessarily always need to do things by hour. It could be 30 minutes. So great example there from Leo with Straight Up Websites. We looked at this site a little bit ago. Lisa with Jolie Designs, her and her husband really pushed their hosting and support plans. Again, you'll see this one is labeled Care and Support. And they do a really good job at really going in detail about what is in the plan and why you should have the plan. You get a little ways down before you see the features. And I actually love these icons. If I can really encourage you to do anything for your features and what's included, make some sort of visual for them. Do an icon or do something that engages them. I love that they did custom icons that are like sketched out. That's beautiful. In the example page here, I did use just the standard Divi icons just to give this some life. This is just a starting point. Highly recommend you do the same. Do what Lisa and Steve did. Get some really great icons and visualize that to make it easier to understand. And again, my very favorite example of some creative titles, because they have a business that is very coffee-like. They've got latte as the basic, they've got cappuccino and then espresso. Their price points are more higher end because they're doing advanced hosting and they have some higher end clients. Now, they don't have that many clients that go to the $4.99, but the ones that do are awesome. And they have a fallback plan. Can you guess what the fallback plan is called? You guessed it. Coffee. Just good old black coffee. That's the fallback plan, which is really cool. And I think their fallback, I believe, is at $49 a month right now. So just a great example of a creative way to showcase your service offerings and your tiers there. Another great example, Shannon with Turia Web Design. Hers is hosting and maintenance, very clear about what's there. And then here's the plans. Basic at $49, standard at $79, premium at $149. And one thing that I like that Shannon did here, one reason I wanted to showcase this, is that it was very clear. It's like a highlighted area about that hour of work. So basic does not cover that, but the $79 one does. So a nice little way to kind of accentuate that hour of work. Now, John here with the Graphic Kitchen has website hosting and maintenance, and it's very clear that right now starts at $79 a month. What's interesting I know about what John's doing right now is that he's got different level of clients, but they're all going to start at this point. He then decides what tier they should be on a later date. So it just lets people know it's starting at $79 a month. This is a very valid way to go as well if you're interested. So what's included, little icons about what's included, and then a bonus, which is the hour of a month for minor website updates. So it's kind of a little gift. I like that. And then get a quote to sign up for that. So that's how John's got that. A similar example is Sloth Geeks and their website maintenance plan. I love the brand, by the way. The reason I wanted to show you this is it's very similar. They have a price point that starts at $65. So this is a good option as well if you are not going to go the good, better, best route. If you just want to have a plan that starts at a certain price point, you can go from here. And once they contact you, you then kind of either customize their plan for them or offer them the tiers. But another good example here, a really good example of the icons and nice animations here and the bonus of the up to 1 hour a month. James, my man down under in Australia with Hey Press Go. Done for you hosting and maintenance. Done for you is a nice little turn because it just shows people that we've got you. We're going to do it. His is actually a big emphasis on like RAM, processing, storage, which is more the hosting side. So you're welcome to include that as well if you are doing hosting and support. And Aussies, and you Aussies down under, they come up with some of the best terms. Tinkler is not one that I had on the list earlier, but always an option if you want to come up with a wild term or something that's funny. But that's the price point that James is at right now. Again, good example of hosting versus actual like the benefits of the plan from the maintenance side. So really good example there with James at Hey Press Go. Kate has a beautiful little maintenance plans page here that is actually based off the template from the first version of the course. Website maintenance plan. What's in the plan? Boom, 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 boom. Updates and optimization, monitoring protection, backups, and reports. Beautiful. There's the bonus. So now you're seeing some recurring themes because a lot of these folks are students who have created their plans and are selling them based off of what I've already taught in the first version of the course. So you're seeing a lot of recurring themes. And then she's got her price points at $49, $89, and $199. And you can see here, she's got highlighted what is in with each one of these plans, which is also a really nice way to go in highlighting weekly from daily, for example. Really great job, Kate. Way to go. Another one of my students, April Ray, has a website care plan. What's cool about what April has set up here is not only what's in the plan and the bonus and everything that we've covered, but she's got Essential, Premium, and VIP, which is another really great term if you want to check that out. But watch this, when you join her plan, or if you want to join, it takes you to a proposal form, which is through her software, and you can select which plan you want. So that's a great way to go as well. We will talk again about how to charge for your plan in the lesson coming up, but a good example from April here with her website on how to do that. Keegan with Redefine Creative. Now, Keegan is mainly a white label partner to web design agencies. So he's got some technical lingo in here with like with the plugins he uses and stuff, but a great example of what's included. And then you can pick your plan, either monthly or annual. If I were to coach and recommend that Keegan change anything, it would be to drop this to $9.99 a year instead of the $1,089, just because it looks a lot better at $99.99 or $9.99. But great job, Keegan, with this. Really looks good. And then another good example, Jeremy here, who is a freelance web designer. Love his menu right now. I love the animated menu. Website care plan. One thing that I like that he did was he straight up says, protect your investment. What a great way to add the word protection in there. And this is a good example too. If you have a plan where it's like website care plan, but you really wanted to work in maintenance or security or protection, what a great example of how to do that. You can have a section or a title or a subtitle that has those other terms in there. So a really great case study on how to have different terms. That way your title is not website hosting, maintenance, security, and care plan. I did that a little bit facetiously because I want you to create your perfect title, but Jeremy does a great job of kind of working in some of the other key points in there as well. Again, you'll see updates, optimization, protection, backups, reports. He's got it very clear that he's partnered with Termageddon, which I recommend that you do as well. So they get the privacy updates, the policy updates. And then here you can actually sign up through his form to enroll in his plan. So really good example. And then finally, my good buddy Gino with Monterey Premier, he is an exclusive Divi white label web design WordPress partner for his plan. So his is very clear about what it's called, Divi hosting and web care. And then he's got a lot of information about more Divi specific kind of things, good icons that are branded, fully managed WordPress and hosting, Divi hosting. And then he's actually got 4 tiers right now of his plan. Again, I'm a fan of 3, the good, better, best, but you're seeing it live here. Four tiers can work as well. There's all sorts of different ways you can set up your plan. And I hope these have given you some good examples. And as far as the titles go, I hope you see too that all these titles work. So Divi hosting, web care, we've got website care plan, website care plan. I think April's was care plan too, right? Yep. Website care plan, website maintenance plan, done for you hosting and maintenance. We've got security and care. We've got hosting and maintenance. We've got hosting and maintenance, care and support. We've got maintenance and hosting, and we've got managed hosting. So there's a lot of different titles that will work. I just wanted to show you all these examples because these are real world landing pages of maintenance plans that are selling. And a lot of these are my students, and I know that it's a huge part of their business. So hopefully this gives you guys some good examples to pull from to see what works for you. And now we can move on to using some of the tools and actually setting up your plan, and we'll dive into the ins and outs of running your plan.